The first type of concrete is ferrous cement concrete, polymer concrete, fly ash concrete, high strength concrete, fiber, reinforced concrete, self-considered concrete, ready-mix concrete, shotcrete, permeable concrete, limb concrete, aspex concrete, glass concrete, rapid hardening concrete and annealing concrete, processed concrete, reinforced concrete, high density concrete, lightweight concrete, plain ordinary concrete.
Raw material is any material used for construction purpose such as material for house building, wood, cement, aggregates, metal, bricks, concrete, and clay are the most common type of building material used in construction. The choice of these are based on their cost effectiveness for building projects. There are 4 major types of raw material used for construction.
Number 1. Concrete. Concrete is a composite material made from mixing cement, aggregate, sand and water. The properties of concrete depend on the ratios used in the mix design. Fresh concrete can be put into formworks to take any shape and takes up to 7 days for concrete to be hardened. Concrete is very strong when exposed to compression stresses. With a combination of steel rebar, reinforced concrete is stronger for a wide range of structures.
Number 2. Wood. Wood has been used as a construction material for thousands of years because of its lifespan can last for hundreds of years. It is natural resource with a light weight and provides good insulation from the cold, which make it an excellent building material for home building. However, because it is lightweight, wood is not the most suitable construction material to support heavy load and not ideal for long spans. Number 3. Steel. Steel is one of the strongest building materials available with excellent strength capacity in both tension and compression. It is ideal for structural framework of tall building and large industrial facilities. However, steel is an expensive building material, so it's the structural engineer's responsibility to choose economic size and shapes to avoid overdesign and to lower the cost of the construction.
Number 4. Masonry. Masonry construction uses individual units such as brick to build structures that are usually bound together by some kind of mortar. Masonry is durable and fire resistant. It has a high compression resistance, but it can break easily. Masonry is used in many types of construction components such as walls, foundation, and finishing decoration.
The first point of manufacturing process is preparing the Portland cement. Portland cement is the basic ingredients of concrete. Concrete is formed when Portland cement creates a paste with water that binds to sand and rocks to harden. Portland cement is used for general construction purpose where special properties are not required. It is normally used for the reinforcement concrete buildings, bridge, pavements, and where soil conditions are normal. There are 4 stages in the manufacture of Portland cements. 1. Crushing and grinding the raw materials. 2. Blending the materials in the correct proportion. 3. Burning the prepared mix in a clink. And 4. Grinding the burnt product known as clinker together with some 5% of gypsum to control the time of set of the cement. To make a concrete, a mixture of Portland cement 10 to 50% and water 15 to 20% make a paste. This paste is then mixed with aggregate 65 to 75% such as sands, gravel, or crushed stone. As the cement and water mix, they harden and bind the aggregate into an impenetrable rock-like mass. There are 3 processes of manufacture, known as wet, dry, and semi-dry process. The wet process are when the raw materials are ground wet and fed to the clink as a slurry. As for the dry process, are fed as a dry powder. And lastly, for the semi-dry, there are moist to form nodules that are fed to the clink at the side.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Uman bin Muhammad Shahiri. Today, I will now present about our next process of making a concrete, which is mixing. Mixing concrete is defined as a material that is completely blend, which are essential for the production of a concrete. Concrete mixing can be done either by hand or machine mixing. Machine mixing is commonly used because it is the most convenient way to mix a concrete. Without the use of a mixing machine, hand mixing involves manually combining the elements for concrete. Mixing concrete without a mixer is only used for modest projects with a low concrete requirement and little priority on quality control. Uniformity of mixing is challenging to accomplish when mixing concrete by hand and calls for extra care and work. We need to take a precaution while hand mixing of concrete by making sure that the base platform is clean, dirt-free and watertight. We need to use a good and clean shovel for the mixing procedure. Protective equipment like hand gloves, masks, etc. are must to be worn while mixing and handling the concrete. These are the procedure for hand mixing of concrete. Number 1. Concrete must be manually mixed on a flat iron sheet, plate or masonry base that is hard, clean and non-porous. Number 2. On the platform, the measured amount of sand is spread out, and then the cement is poured on top of the sand. Number 3. With the use of shovels, the sand and cement need to be thoroughly mixed numerous times while in the dry stage until the material achieves a uniform color throughout and is free of streak. Number 4. The calculated quantity of coarse aggregates is then evenly distributed over the mixture in the previous step and well stirred. Never forget to batch aggregates using measurement boxes to estimate how much aggregate is needed. Number 5. Later, the entire mixture is well blended by twisting it repeatedly from the center to the sides, back to the center and then again to the sides. Number 6. At the center of the combined materials is then created a depression. Number 7. And then, using shovels, 75% of the necessary amount of water is added to the depression and blended. Number 8. The remaining water is then added, and the mixing is continued until the concrete has a homogeneous color and consistency. Concrete should only be mixed for a total of 3 minutes. Thank you. Concrete placing. Concrete placing needs to be administered properly, keeping in mind the following rules. Number 1. The concrete should be placed in uniform layers. It should not be heaped in large chunks or sloping layers. Number 2. The thickness of the layer should be compatible with the method of vibration. It is to ensure that entrapped air can be removed from the bottom of each layer. Number 3. The rate of placing and of compaction should be equal, not too slow or not too fast. If too slow, the mix could stiffen so that it is no longer sufficiently workable. If too fast, the compacting team may not catch up in time, thus may ruin the prepared mixture. Number 4. Each layer should be fully compacted before placing the next one, and the next layer should be placed while the previous layer is still plastic, so that a uniform construction is achieved. Number 5. Avoid collision between concrete and formwork or reinforcement. Number 6. When doing deep sections, a long down pipe is used to ensure accuracy of location of concrete and minimum segregation. Number 7. Ensure enough lighting is available to be able to see that the placing is proceeding correctly.
Compaction method. Right after the concrete has been placed, it is ready to be compacted. The purpose of compaction is to get rid of the air voids that are trapped in the loose concrete. To compact concrete, apply enough energy to it so that the mix becomes more fluid. Air trapped in it can then rise to the top and escape. As a result, the concrete becomes consolidated. What's left is a good dense material after proper curing. Develop its full strength and durability. Vibration is the next and quickest method of supplying energy. Manual techniques such as rodding are only suitable for smaller projects. Various types of vibrator are available for use on site. The poker or immersion vibrator is the most popular of the appliances used for compacting concrete. This is because it works directly in the concrete that can be moved around easily. However, the actual effectiveness of any poker depends on the workability of the concrete. and the characteristic of the vibrator itself. As a rule, the bigger the poker and the higher its amplitude, the greater will be radius of action.
Curing process. Process of maintaining satisfactory temperature and moisture condition. Important role on strength development and durability of concrete. The length of adequate curing time is depend on the following factor: mixture proportion, specific strength, size and shape of concrete, and weather and exposure conditions.
There are three main functions of curing. First of all, maintaining mixing water in concrete during the early hardening process. We can do this by ponding and immersion, spraying and fogging, saturate wet coverings, or left in place form. Second, reducing the loss of mixing water from the surface of the concrete. We can do this by covering concrete with improvised paper or plastic sheets and applying membrane-forming curing compounds. Lastly, accelerating strength gain using heat and additional moist by live steam, heating coils, electrical heat forms of pad, and lastly, concrete blanking.
What is quality control of concrete? Concrete is one of the most important and widely used materials, including cement, sand, aggregate, admixtures, and water. All these raw materials are mixed up in a certain proportion to form concrete according to requirements. Next, quality control before concreting. Cement. Quality control of cement is ascertained by making compressive strength tests on cement cubes. However, for effective controlled cement, it should be tested initially once for every 2 months. It should be protected from moisture and it should be retested after 3 months of storage. Aggregate. The quality of concrete is affected by different physical and mechanical properties of aggregate, such as shape, grading, durability, specific gravity, and water absorption. These properties of aggregate should be tested before using it for concrete production. The quantity of aggregate should be tested too. Sand. Bulking of sand is also an important property in several ways. It gives wrong result when volume batching is done. It increases water-cement ratio, which in turn reduces strength. Water. The quality of water should be checked for the requirements as specified in respective standard. Chemical analysis shall be conducted for approval sources. In case of doubt, concrete cube made with this water are tested. Average 28 days, compressive strength of at least cubes of cylinder are specified size. Quality control during concrete. The concrete mix should be designed in the laboratory with the materials to use on site. Put all materials using the quantity sets. Mix all together. After the concrete gets harder, put the concrete in curing tanks. Concrete should be protected from hot and cold weather at early ages. In very cold weather, water aggregate should be heated. Accelerators of approved quality can also be used. Quality control after construction. Load test and measurement of deflection and strain. Cutting costs from the structures and testing them for strength.